Hi, Renato, in the back.
What's up?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Very good, very good.
Good to hear. Ami from Buiten de Kooi. I was wondering, Renato, your last few matchups haven't been well. You're in a good streak. But I saw you commenting something about Paddy Pimblett, that he would be a tougher matchup than Dan Hooker. Let's say you win the fight. Is that someone you would call out, or will you call out Dan Hooker?
I don't know. I have a fight on Saturday. BSG is very dangerous. People are asking me about Paddy Pimblett and Dan Hooker and stuff, but right now I'm really focused on the fight on Saturday.
And what do you think makes Benoit a difficult opponent for you? Like, in what aspect do you think he will make it difficult for you?
I think he's very good overall, striking, grappling, but I think I'm better, overall. I think I am better. Maybe he's more aggressive. Maybe he has more punching power. But overall, I think I'm better.
Yeah, one thing we also noticed is that when you fight, you sometimes have to come into the fight. So sometimes people say, okay, Renato lost the first round or the second round, but eventually you finish someone or you do something like that. Is that part of your strategy to let someone become tired, or you just need to wake up?
No, that's not strategy. Sometimes I'm just dumb and I start too slow. But I cannot do that on Saturday, so I will be ready 100% since the first round.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Absalon for Karate Bushido. Benoit Saint-Denis said that you once were his dream fight. What do you make of that? Are you honored by the fact that your opponent says that?
Excuse me, what did he say? I'm not...
Once you were his dream fight.
Once?
Yes, because you used to be fighting like 9 years before him. So he's been watching you before he started fighting. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I don't make anything. Right now we are opponents, so my job is go over there and beat the shit out of him. And he's the same. So it's nice, but doesn't mean anything right now.
Okay. And what do you make of his last performance? A lot of people are dismissing him because of the fact that he got knocked out. But in the first round, he did a very good job against a very good opponent, Dustin Poirier. So did you take anything from that fight, or do you just dismiss him?
I think that shows how good is Dustin Poirier, because Benoit, everybody knows BSD is good, but Dustin Poirier is on another level in the division, and I know I train with Dustin Poirier, so I don't take anything from him. Everything can lose. Everybody can lose. Everybody can have a bad night. So I don't know if it was a bad night. I don't know if they fight 10 times, Dustin win the 10 times. So I don't care too much. I am thinking about myself. I am thinking about what I have to do to win this Saturday. And I'm not thinking too much about BSD.
Yeah. The arena is going to be crazy for him. Obviously, he's a very patriotic fighter. Are you going to feed off the energy of the crowd, or are you going to just isolate and ignore?
I think I cannot ignore, because 100% I saw on the last Paris show, and it was loud. So it is what it is. I cannot fight the crowd, but I can fight BSD. So you guys can expect me to go over there and put on a show, put on a work, and I don't know what to tell you about the crowd. That's not my job.
Boa sorte.
Boa sorte. Thank you.
Renato, Tom Denson, RMC official broadcaster. BSD wants to win the Employee of the Month, because he said earlier the UFC wants a war, so I'm going to give it to them. But it feels like he doesn't know how to do anything else. He just goes forward. Are you going to use that to your advantage?
BSD is very aggressive, and that seems to be his strong point, right? So he wins a lot of fights because he's aggressive. But I think that what makes him sloppy sometimes. And even on his last fight against Dustin Poirier, I think he was too aggressive. Even though he was hurt on the second round, he was keeping coming. So I am planning to take advantage of that for sure.
Renato right here, Emil Sardarian from Stand 'Em Up. So I've been watching your podcast for a little while now, and I've seen you give a lot of financial advice. So I'm asking because a lot of fighters, they don't know this kind of information. So I'm just curious, how did you learn about all this advice?
Thank you so much. Huge shout out to Show Me the Money podcast, Gilbert Burns and Maddie. But I start to research and to talk about money because I am from Brazil, right? So if you are from South America, families usually don't talk about money a lot, and if you don't talk about something, you don't learn. So then I start to read some books. I start to research because it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep on your pocket. And with the inflation and with all that stuff going on in the world, I start to say, hey, I cannot let my money on the bank just rotting, just the value, losing value. So I start to research about first about the markets, basic stuff like supply and demand, and then I read some books about how to do investments, like the Warren Buffett always recommend this, the smart investor, and then I was keep coming, and then, but again, I'm not an expert. I don't advise anybody to buy this or to buy that. No, I advise you to try to understand and know money, because if you don't know money, you're not gonna have money.
So on the same podcast, you also said that Paddy Pimblett is easy money, and Dan Hooker is also easy money. Charles Oliveira, not so easy. What about Benoit Saint-Denis?
Definitely, Benoit Saint-Denis is not easy money, and that's why he's in a position that he is right now. We're fighting in France, right? UFC knows his value, but I'm here to prove I'm better than him. I'm here to beat him.
So a few years ago, in 2018, you posted a picture of yourself with the UFC belt, and a quote under it was, "Nothing belongs to you more than your dreams." What does this quote exactly mean, and what does this quote mean to you?
Can you repeat? I don't remember the quote.
Nothing belongs to you more than your dreams.
Yeah, I think I was talking exactly about that. Like, if you have a dream, that's the only thing that you can, like, really go after. If you go after your dreams, it's not only about to realize the dream, is the process, of I want to be a champion one day, but I am enjoying the journey at the same time.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Renato, I have some questions from the chat. We are live on Twitch right now. How do you feel about getting to know the atmosphere from the UFC in Paris? Because we have an amazing crowd. It will be against you, of course, because you're not home. How do you prepare for that?
Mostly the way I was preparing for that was sometimes on the sparring, I was not talking to my coach because it's going to be impossible to hear the coaches. And I have been in loud crowds before, but that's going, for sure, is going to be the biggest one. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to find out.
And what it's in there to win for you? Because you defeated Jalen Turner, who was really close from you in the rankings. This time, Benoit Saint-Denis is really close from you in the rankings. There's just one spot separating you two. What's in there to win for you if you win? Big step in the rankings. What do you expect if you win Saturday night?
I think the rankings, they don't matter. If the rankings matter, things will be easier. But no, we saw last month, Dan Hooker beating Mateus, and they were pretty far from the rankings. So we see some guys like even McGregor back in the day. He was I don't know how many years without fighting, and he was in the rankings. I think this sport, we have to try to see the popularity, the momentum, and even though Benoit Saint-Denis is ranked above behind me, I think he has a lot of momentum. I think he has a lot of popularity, especially in Europe, and I think that could catapult me to not to the rankings but to popularity, and I could get even better fights.
And last one for me, when we go through your record, we see a lot of big names, former champions. when you see Benoit Saint-Denis, do you consider him, maybe like from the outside before the fight, like he has the potential to be one of these names that you fought before?
I don't know. We will see. We will see. He's still young on the UFC. You know, I have been fighting UFC for a long time, and it's very hard to be a champion in UFC. We're going to see.
All right. Muito obrigado.
Muito obrigado.
Renato, are you upset? Because Benoit Saint-Denis at some point was upset with the glass ceiling that we have in the lightweight. He was saying it's hard to break the ceiling of the top 5. You're saying rankings don't matter. Don't you want to steal his hype and break that top 5 at some point?
I don't know why he was upset, because he had his chance, right? Benoit Saint-Denis at the time didn't fight anybody on the top 15, but he I think met Frevola or somebody, and then he fought with Dustin. Dustin is very popular. Dustin was on the top 5.
That's what I'm saying. He asked for it so strongly. You're telling us rankings don't matter. But if you ask, and if you get the win, you're going to get a top 5 at some point. You're a veteran.
At some point, but that's not my job. That's why I say don't matter, because I could, like, last fight after Jalen Turner, if I could choose, I would choose somebody on the top 5, but I can't. So I have to fight whoever UFC puts in front of me. Other thing that I can do is push for the fights, right? So talking to the press, talking to the people, but other than that, there is nothing that I can do. So what I can do, train, cut my weight, go over there, and beat Benoit Saint-Denis in France, in his hometown. That's what I'm going to do.
Renato.
So ranking doesn't matter on this aspect.
Hey, you said you train with Dustin. Does he give you some advice to face Benoit Saint-Denis, or it was in the past?
Yeah, little bit. He told me something. He told me Benoit is strong, good grappler. It's tough say when somebody say what advice he gave to you, because I'm watching the fights. I can see, I can tell, like, the guy is strong, the guy is aggressive. So, but again, I trust in my style, I trust in my team, and Saturday, it's going to be a good fight.
And do you have a prediction for Saturday? Do you see an ending?
I just see the whole crowd upset, and my hand getting raised. You know, that's what I'm working for. That's what I'm visualizing all the time. So, like I say, Benoit is not an easy fight. That's why I'm not gonna come over here and say I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna knock him out. But I will win. I will win this fight. I don't know how, but I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, man, Benoit Moicano right here. So, you fought in February. You beat Drew Dober, and then UFC 300. You beat Jalen Turner. Now we're in September. This is gonna be your 3rd fight this year. Why have you been so active?
I'm 35 years old, motherfuckers. I'm too old, you know. I cannot afford to lose, like I'm saying. I have to. That's my time, you know. That's my time. I have to take advantage of that because I'm 35, but I'm still healthy. But I have to look at the mirror, and I don't have 10 years. I don't have 5 years, you know. So I'm in my prime. I'm ready. I'm in shape. I will fight as much as I can.
All right, and also, since your featherweight days, I feel like for the last 3-4 years, you've shown more of your personality. You know, now you have your own podcast. You know, shout out, Show Me the Money podcast, great podcast. You have a YouTube channel. What caused you to be more open and show more of your fun personality? Yeah,
because back in the day, I was too worried about what people would think. You know, because I remember, especially in Brazil, being from jiu-jitsu. All my coaches, they all tell me, you have to be humble, you have to respect. Yeah, this is not a place for you to joke. So I was growing up like that, and I thought UFC was like that. But then I saw some other guys, and I say, no, this is not only about fighting, this is about entertainment too. So if you're funny, if you have a good personality, I think more people will watch you. So I decided to be more, I don't know, more funny, to talk a little bit more. And then Gilbert called me and say, hey, let's do the podcast. And we did the podcast, and it's been amazing.
Okay, last one for me. Obviously, we know you love the U.S., but now you're here in France and Paris. Have you been able to enjoy a little bit of France and enjoy your time here?
Yeah, 100%. Let me tell you something, my brother. I was expecting a different country. I've never been to Europe. That's my first time. But I like history. I like especially France history. So I went to the Louvre. You know, I went to all the places to watch the beautiful architecture and everything. And Paris is a beautiful city.
All right, thank you, my brother.
Renato, one more. Bouncing back on what you said as far as the, I guess, philosophy in Brazil, kind of the same thing in France. Before it's MMA, it's martial arts, kickboxing. You're being told to be very humble. What's it like in Brazil, Vale Tudo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and what's it like to come to Florida, where it's more laid back, where trash talking is part of the sport? What do you enjoy most, or how do you make that journey out of that? Because in France as well, the fighters are told to be very humble, and in the media, we tell them, hey, you need to be more forward, you need to be trash talker. That's not where the way they were raised as a martial artist.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's all over the world. It's just a little bit different on USA because capitalism, right? Free market enterprise and WWE, and they know. Like everything that these guys do now in UFC, like Sean Strickland, all these guys, and Conor McGregor, they used to do that. We saw Muhammad Ali, but even before that, because Muhammad Ali, he saw on WWE, he saw the character they call, I think, Pretty George or something like that. Everybody used to hate this character. But guess what? If you hate, you're going to pay to watch them lose, right? If you like them, you're going to pay to enjoy. So Chael Sonnen, all these guys, they know that it's better being hate than not know, you know? So I think America is a little bit different. They know this is a show, this is a sports, and I think other places they care too much about the martial arts, about all that stuff.
On Saturday, you're the good guy, you're the bad guy, you're the villain. Who are you?
You tell me. I'm in France against a French guy. I'm a fucking the bad guy right now because I'm gonna ruin your night.
Right here, one last time for me. Let me tell you something, my brother. Yeah. I wanted to ask my followers what they would like to ask you. And the most asked question was, obviously, we know that Benoit Moicano, he wants money. But how much money exactly does Benoit Moicano want?
All I can get. Like I say, 35, I want money. Why? Why I want money? Because after this, I have been working so hard. I started to train when I was 8. And then judo, and then I start jiu-jitsu at 12, and I'm 35. I have been training my whole life, so this has to pay off, and that's why I cannot afford to lose. That's why I come to France. That's why I will beat BSD and will keep my journey, because one day I will be at home just chilling, not having to work, not having to worry about anything, and help people that supporting me and my fans.
Thank you.
Renato, one more from me here in the back. At the beginning of the year, I read an article about your wife also starting to like MMA and starting to train a bit. Is she already on the level to give you some advice about how you have to fight?
Yes, but she helps me mostly with stuff outside fighting, you know. So she knows fighting. She used to compete. She competed in MMA a couple times in boxing. But right now with the house and the baby, it's very hard for her to keep going to the training, to keep, you know, so but sometimes she helps me with some advice. Do that, do this, you know.
Thank you, man.